Last orders at the bar.
A night in with Mauler and the drinker, getting trashed with the web-screen thinkers. A cheap night cause I'm feeling kinda thrifty, got a 10-pack of beers and a bottle of whiskey. Hop off the cork, have a glass of wine, I'll say, I'll be mine. Trouble walking in a straight line before me a Pinot Noir. It's open bar with our hosts, Mauler and the critical drinker.
Well, I say, that calls for us to talk.
Hello there.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Last Orders for Open Bar 162. Mauler and I are once again ready to tackle the outstanding questions of the day. Are you ready, Mauler?
Are indeed. Excited. Ready to go.
Right. I'm psyched. I'm pumped. I'm ready to get into this right now. So, that being the case, I'm just going to dive right into these and see what we can do. So, let's see. Gunnar says, Madam Web was funny, but it's no Mr. Shart. I mean, never a truer word was spoken. I agree with you there.
Mr. Shart's pretty top tier, yeah.
It was, yeah. Mr. Sinister says, ahoy to the bar. Small YouTuber here. You've all taught me different facets of YouTube. Cheers to the Cynic for preaching about having great audio. It's key. I sort of remember that one on the night, actually. It is definitely an important aspect of it. Get yourself a good microphone, if nothing else.
Yeah.
The audience will appreciate it. Mexi Rage says, Hail Bar. So what do you guys think is funnier? James Gunn DC might be having a short run, or that Snyderverse might last longer? Can't wait to get the popcorn out. That seems to be like a possibility that they're going to bring back the Snyderverse in
if
some
Netflix
form.
bought them out, and then because they're very pro Snyder, and the whole reason they did the Rebel Moon shit was because of the hype behind the Snyder Cut. So they could very well push for maybe not he comes back in full and does everything, but to give him another movie, you know? Netflix could Netflix burn the fuck out of money. So that is something they could absolutely decide to do. That would be infinitely funnier to me than James Gunn just outright losing the DC universe in general, which would also be funny though.
I do love the idea of two competing universes just going at it within the same franchise. It's like,
imagine
wild,
they were like,
man.
There was no civility to it. They get them both in a boardroom. Netflix, like, have to bite it. They go, we're giving you both $500 million, and that is your limit. Whatever you make with that, like that, you can make whatever you want with this IP, but the person who makes the most profits gets the universe. Go.
Oh my god!
Like, what?
Let them fight.
Oh,
the thing is, like, would any of the actors even want to come back? Like, could you imagine Snyder getting on the phone to like Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot? Like, hey guys, you guys up for doing another Justice League?
I don't know. I don't know if, because remember, he's been trolling a bit, posting pictures and
he has, yeah.
So there's that. But like Ben Affleck, for one, if he's got a good enough rapport with him, and that they've spoken about potentials, like he could play like an older Batman if that's what he wants to do, or whatever. I think Henry Cavill would be like, "Fuck yeah, dude, let's get but this time, I want to do blah blah blah." Gal Gadot, you don't need to bring her back. It's fine. We can find someone else.
Max Lord.
No, I think he would. He probably is. He probably would want to bring everyone back. He should bring Amber Heard back. Go on.
I mean, sure, you'd probably get her pretty cheap these days, I would imagine. You'd probably get Gal Gadot quite cheap now. I don't get the impression she's doing a huge amount.
Hey, you can get Jared Leto for cheap.
My God, I want that Apocalypse storyline, by the way. I want a resolution on that.
I mean, I'm happy for him to do his Justice League 2 and 3. I don't want the stories with how I know that he's planning to make them, but hey, it'll answer the question. It'll be the complete story. There you go. Because a lot of people say, like, we want our third Ridley Scott Alien movie. And it's like, sure, like a prequel movie, to complete the David story. It's like, yeah, I guess we could do that, just...
Sometimes, to quote the Emperor, you want to see their failure be completed. And I think that's just, that's the way to go. All right. Next up is Matthias says, Waterloo has a 27% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. That should be a crime. That cannot be true. I'm going to look that up right now. So the 1970 movie, well, it's got... Oh, no, that's IMDb. Sorry, it's got 7.3 on IMDb. Oh, my God. It does have 27% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's fucked up, dude.
The audience score is 83, so that's a bit better. Yeah. Fuck you, professional critics. You're a bunch of dicks. I'm going to give that movie a review myself just to bump it up a little bit. Give the love to Waterloo. Rebellion says, I like how Ryan Gosling is the go-to for race swap for black characters when trying to prove a point, how it's okay to go one way but not the other. It was the whole Black Panther thing, wasn't it? That started it. I mean, he is like, generic white guy, so I could see it working. Bill Mag says, what do you think is the coolest line a character said before he died? I am between Stannis Baratheon's Do Your Duty and Alfred Borden's Abracadabra. And who could forget Luke Skywalker's See You Around, kid? Pure epicness. Let's not talk about that one. Let's not talk about that one.
I will. Yeah, I kind of like that line from Stannis, but I hate the context of that death. That sucked watching that because I really liked Stannis and the actor for him was perfect.
He was. Oh, everyone liked him. Yeah,
it's like season 6 or something. I fucking hated the storyline they gave him. Sucks.
Yeah. He just became an asshole and useless as well. Like suddenly he was like a completely incompetent military leader who was just so tunnel visioned.
Yeah, which is he's supposed to be like the best military mind out of everyone in Westeros from memory. I mean, there might be some people that could compete on that front, but he's supposed to be fucking top tier. The other angle as well is one of my favorite scenes from Game of Thrones is where he explains the insane efforts he took to save his daughter when she's got a stone skin. And then he burns her to help out his army. I remember being like, nah. And I think at the time some people had said like, no, I could see it because everything is that's kind of the point, right? Is absolute desperation and blah blah blah. And I was just like, no, I think we're at a Batman position here of no murder. Like, I just don't think he would. I think character wise, he would refuse. He would rather see everyone, including himself, die before killing his daughter.
I think so, yeah. I always liked Mike's final line in Breaking Bad, where he's been shot by Walter, like when they've had a confrontation. And, like Walter tracks him down to the river, and it's like he's trying to offer some words of comfort, and Mike just goes, "Shut the fuck up, Walter. Let me die in peace."
I'll tell you, Mike's a great example, and there's a few of these in TV where the actor did such an amazing job that he just became more and more and more important to the story. Do you remember how he's introduced? He's like a sort of fixer,
heavy, basically.
Yeah, like a guy who just gets things sorted out for the bigger, badder bosses just to justify that. But he's so fucking like the actor has such a presence in all of his scenes. It was the half measures speech that it was like, dude, this guy's great.
It's great when you just get like, I don't know, little chance encounters like that, or like lucky finds where it's like, oh, this actor's just fucking crushing it. Let's just give him more to do, and like he blossoms into this like complete character that he never would have been before. Do you have any personal favorites yourself, like final parting lines from characters before they die?
Like, are we strictly talking badass ones, or just anything for like meaning?
I guess just meaning, or just things that really struck you or stayed with you or whatever.
Well, to remain somewhat spoiler-free, there's a person who, in Angel, spends a whole episode dying. Like, they know from very early on they're going to die, and it's just, like, excruciatingly painful and long. And it's incredibly fucking emotional, bordering on, like, risking going a little too far. But I think they keep it perfect. And her last line is, why can't I stay? And it's delivered, like, perfectly. It's one of those ones that sticks in my head forever. It's just like, whoa. It's rough, man.
Yeah, that's pretty good then. Jeremy Soden says Shelby Oaks is on near me this weekend. Trying to decide how morbidly curious I am. Well, only you can decide that, sir. We've done our best to outline the movie for you. Whether you consider it worth your time is up to you. Kirby says, Despot, I love your channel. It's hilarious. Love you. Well, Karen iPhone, hit that shit. Deval says, I imagine Stuckman movie as Mauler Rag, Fringy and Platoon trapped in a room tied to chairs as Stuckman reads out his reviews over and over.
I mean, Yeah, that'd be a horror movie.
It would be terrifying. Jay Smart says, to Drinker, the only guy who apparently can keep his dog in place without friggin' tasing them. If only Kaya was so lucky. Yeah, man. Hassan should have invested in some greyhounds. Honestly, they never fucking move, even if you want them to.
Do you know what's insane? There are still people who are convinced the dog was never wearing a shock collar at all.
Yeah, but there's a lot of retarded people that will just support Hassan no matter what he says or does. If he says that like drinking motor oil is good for you, they would do it.
I can't remember if we talked about it. I think I mentioned it on Real BBC, but it was fascinating. I think we all knew this was possible anyway, but we're in a bit of what feels like a post-truth culture online. Like the truth just doesn't it's not relevant. It's something else comes first, if you know what I mean. And maybe one could say is like, well, that's humans. And you're like, okay, maybe. But the thing I'm bringing up is that did you see the of all people? I don't know if you know this. Of all people to defend Hassan, do you know Sasha Grey did?
No.
And she has this video where she's talking about how there was no shocking happening, and you know this because the shock collars have prongs and you cannot remove the prongs. They cannot be removed. That's what she says. And then she's watching a video, and it is Hassan's girlfriend saying that Hassan has taken the prongs off himself, and she clicks off the video and says, I'm not watching this anymore. It's one of the most beautiful examples of cognitive dissonance I think I've ever seen, where your brain is like, I can't deal with this being reality, so it's not. You're like, okay.
Yeah. It's an interesting approach to the world. Like when I start seeing something I don't like, I'm just going to pretend that it's not real and just move on to something else. It's wild, man.
And I think there's good reason that the brain does that with some things. Say, for example, you love your close relative and they've done something, you just refuse to believe it. Like that's normal and natural. But Hassan does not care about you. Like you don't need to do this. You'll be fine. Get a better thought leader.
In terms of content creators and stuff, I imagine there's people in his orbit that just rely on him for approval or clout or whatever it might be, and so it's almost like a business decision to support him. Which is shady and pretty pathetic, but like you can at least understand the logic behind it. But when it's people who are just like his supporters, quote unquote, who don't really gain anything financially or whatever from supporting him, you just have to ask, like, what is it? Are you just so bifurcated from reality, or do you just hate the other side so much that like you will support your chosen champion no matter what, even if it means ignoring reality itself? I mean,
if you're only going to take his word on the situation and all you hear him say is everyone's lying about me, then I guess you should be like, yep, everyone's lying. That's what it is. That's it.
But you do think like that's worrying if that's like the kind of division that's happening in society, because there's probably people on the other side as well who've got like a chosen leader or a chosen guy that they support who'll be the same. Like if he fucks up in some way or is exposed for doing something like extremely dodgy and they don't like to hear it, they'll just ignore it. And it's like, well, okay, where's this going to take us? Like,
yep.
It's not going to lead to a very productive society. Anyway, moving on. Poncho says, what are your thoughts about the Mortal Kombat trailer? I feel like this is the kind of shit we need. I think we agreed. We watched it a few months back and we liked it.
I think we were more positive on it than several people in our audience was. Like we see, I think if it's the way that we're looking for it to be, I will be happy. I don't need it to be anything more than having fun. I hope it has fun.
That's all I want from Mortal Kombat.
There were pieces of that in the first attempt, and I swear to God, it's like you guys know what worked and what didn't. Kano's back, right? Even though he died, so
yeah, they're just like, he was the best thing in the movie. So
that to me is a sign that they know, because it would be funny. So we'll be like, isn't that bad? It's like the fucking rules of Mortal Kombat Resurrection is like there's people come back all the time. There's time travel, there's portals and dimensions. It doesn't just have fun, damn it. Just have fun.
The world of Mortal Kombat, I would happily just go with the don't think about it too much premise. It's fine by me. Zeddy Boy says, Drinker, I just typed in Shelby Oaks into my phone and one of the first things that popped up was this live video. How dare you upstage the movie? I'm sorry, okay? What can I say?
Oh my.
It's not like the movie itself has a presence on YouTube, though. It's like it got released in theaters, so the only stuff you'll see on YouTube will just be reviews of it and the discourse around it. Be interested to see how much longer that lasts. Actually, I feel like it's probably come and gone already. Josh C. Any of you watched Fearless by Jet Li? Highly recommend. Great action with a great message. International movie. Chris should definitely check it.
I feel like I have. I'm not sure though. It's been a while if I have.
Rated M, you referenced this actually on the night. Compare Shelby Oaks to Talk to Me, both made by YouTubers. Yeah, Talk to Me is an infinitely better film.
I've only heard kind of good things about Talk to Me.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ministry of Wrong Think says thumbnail appreciation tax. I mean, sure. It's funny that thumbnail actually got my original video on my main channel an age restriction after the fact.
Well, it's funny you say that. So I think I was at a call with a friend who posted the link to that stream, and I was like, "Why are you doing that?" And then they were like, "Why is Drinker using that picture?" And I was like, "I don't know, just feeling a little bit, raunchy, referential, whatever." And they were like, "No, I don't mean that. I mean, why is he like, presumably with AI, made this image?" And I was like, "No, that's real,
AI, bro."
And they were like, "They're like, what do you mean it's real?" And I was like, "This is. Have you not heard? Have you not seen?"
I have so many sites to show you.
It was very funny because I was just like, I linked like, this happened. This is a thing that happened. They were like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "It happened. Yep, she did that. That's something she did."
I mean, sometimes I just thought, I'm going to uplift YouTube a little bit with this and just,
No, I know.
Nice
What's funny is
I
was mistaken. I thought they were complaining from like you shouldn't be putting that image on the thumbnail. No, they thought you just decided one day, I want to get her close to naked, so I'll use AI and put her on
wild. She's one of those actresses like you don't even have to look very hard to get images like that, and it's like, okay, thank you. If you're willing to put that out there into the world, Sydney, we appreciate you. TWF says, Despot, love your videos, mate. You made mention of not liking Saving Private Ryan. Could you elaborate? Also to the bar, since it's the spooky season, what is the best Simpsons Halloween episodes they've seen? We can answer the second one, but yeah, I don't know why Despot wouldn't like Saving Private Ryan. Not sure what his issue is there. But
yeah, I'd be interested to hear him say what he doesn't like about it.
Best Simpsons Halloween episodes.
We're looking. You're going to want to stick to the sort of single digit era, and it's probably for me anyway going to be there's The Shining, the one The Shining is a part of, like the parody of The Shining is top tier.
Yeah.
Which that one has, I think, the time traveling toaster, and what's the third story in that one? Because do you remember what links them all? Is the Willie keeps getting killed in all of them.
Oh, one of them is. I was going to say there's a Freddy Krueger one as well, but I think that's a separate.
That's a different one, which actually is a child linked in my head because I thought that because Willie got killed 3 times in an episode that Willie was like pissed off.
Yeah, I do. There's a gag in that gets me every time. It's like when they've all been attacked in their dreams and like they show up in school the next day. They're like, some of them have been cut up and stuff, and then fucking Nelson comes in and he's like, he ran me over with his floor buffer and he's just all shiny.
Yeah. That's Treehouse of Horror 5, and it's the time travel. Oh yeah. It's those are the 3 episodes actually. No, wait, sorry.
The time travel one, like where Homer goes back and like kills a butterfly for the butterfly effect sort of thing.
Well, yeah, he avoids everything and then slips or steps on. Oh, I think he sits on like a creature and it just makes like a fart sound when he kills it, and he goes, "Oh," because it's gonna have consequences. But yeah, no, that episode's great. The Shining one is, and then the other part of that episode, if you remember, is when Bart and Lisa figure out that the teachers are eating the kids in school.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Something that killed me as a kid and an adult, I've always mentioned this, is when they're sneaking up on Krabappel and they see she's reading a book, and it's called The Joy of Cooking Millhouse. It's such a specific book. On the front cover, he's in like a pot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when they're looking for reasons, because anytime a kid gets sent to detention, that's when they get like eaten. And like they're all, there's only like 5 kids left in the class, and I think Wendell is one of them. And like his pencil just rolls off the desk.
Yeah,
Mrs. Krabappel's like, detention.
So that's probably my pick. But there's a couple of other strong ones, like when they do the Bram Stoker's Dracula parody. I love that episode as well. That episode meaning like all 3 stories. It's insane how effective, because Simpsons already 20-minute episode stories, but then these are like they get 6 to 7 minutes each to do a full story, and they are pretty fucking impressive.
Funny. Yeah. What's this? Umad Bro says, question for Muller, Gore, Movie Cynic, and Despot. Thoughts, both positive and negative, on Rogue Elements. Also, Shelby Oaks has a higher IMDb rating than Rogue Elements. And rightly so, I would say. Yeah, I mean, like, it's up to Muller to say what he wants to say, but yeah, like, Rogue Elements, like, I think wasn't quite what I hoped it would be. In the early stages, and a lot of that's on me. Like, I think it was my first attempt at script writing for a movie, and elements of the project definitely got away from me. I think as well because when I was on set, I was only there for like a couple of days, and I didn't really feel like I was in a position to, like, tell people how to do things or how I wanted certain things to look or whatnot. So it was a project that I wasn't in control of as much as I might have liked to be, and that I didn't understand enough about script writing and how to bring that to life, to give you a sort of a worthy end product, shall we say. I think you'll probably see a quite an improvement in what we do with our next batch of movies that we're bringing out. But Rogue Elements was a learning experience. I think that was ultimately what I would take from it.
Yeah, I've kind of tried to make this clear since I don't know if it was year 1 or 2 of when I was doing EFAP, that basically said to remain consistent. Like, one of the rules I've got is I'm not reviewing any sort of stuff that fans send, because there's just no way to do it coherently, and there's just an element of being somewhat awkward, or it could cause some problems in terms of getting people particularly angry or confused or whatever when I've barely got time to make my own stuff. But simultaneously, I'd said that I'm just going to make a broad thing of I'm not reviewing my own stuff or my friends' stuff. I'd say I've known this fella here for a long enough time now that I would consider him a best friend. So there's no fucking way that I'm anything but compromised in terms of being able to talk about any work he makes. And so, in a context where I could talk about how much, I'm proud and the effort that's gone in and stuff, it's just, you're not going to catch me reviewing it. That makes no fucking sense to me. I've seen people even say, like, why haven't you just set up a review of your own comic or your own short films? Like, no. I'm not reviewing my own shit. It doesn't make any sense. And I said this on a stream recently. You guys review it. Everyone else review it. I wouldn't expect Ryan Johnson to review TLJ. It's gonna be fucking awkward for him if he did, for sure. But I don't think it's. I mean, part of it is like I know too much about how it was made. My own stuff or friend stuff, and so it's going to influence almost everything about meaning drawn from it or construction, production. So I'd rather everyone, get their takes as they prefer or give them as they prefer. I'm too involved, bro. So yeah, I'm going to try and stay consistent on that, no matter how tempting. Because even with, I'm working with a whole bunch of guys on that anthology, and it's just like, why don't you review all their books? And it's like, there's no way. I know too much about how they were made, and I'm not going to be able to talk about it as I would if I hadn't been.
Exactly, yeah. And if people are looking for reviews, man, I'm sure there's 100 content creators out there, if not more, that are happy to review anything that we put out, and you can get your opinions, I guess, from them. I would rather just put it out there, let other people be the judges of it, whether they liked it or not.
I'm more uniquely poised in other ways to do other things, like. Shelby Oaks, I still haven't seen it, by the way, but I'm soon to. I will be very well poised to give a breakdown of that, more than likely, on a Leaf app as well.
Are you telling me you don't consider Chris Stockman a friend at this
No,
point? I feel
but
like you know him quite well now.
gosh darn it, that door is open, Chris. That door is wide open.
I can see the two of you just hanging out, talking about stuff.
I think I get along with him just fine. In fact, I would probably try to get out of him some actual opinions, you know? Be like, go on, give me what works and what doesn't work about Madam Web. Come on, tell me. Come on, finally get it out. I'm not going to tell anyone, I swear.
It'd be funny if like you talked to him offline and he absolutely unloaded on movies, like given like the hottest nuclear grade takes.
Yeah, I think
like
he probably does have those in him, but he's just refusing to give them. Be like, all right, fine.
Captain Overkill says, I think the reason the husband becomes a non-entity is because it's strongly implied he leaves her after they fight about Mia investigating her sister. Yeah, I mean, he does leave by the end of the movie. I can say that much because Mia does say like he's taking a break or he's taking personal time or whatever stupid term they use nowadays. But yeah, they've broken up over the course of this movie about, because of all this. Or maybe because he's really uncomfortable with the crazy lady coming back to his house with a baby that he doesn't know. Irish John says, happy slightly early Halloween. What's the scariest thing you've ever seen, real or fake, or done?
The
scariest thing. God damn. I mean, what's a moment in a movie that really shook you or really chilled you?
Well, if we covered The Fly not so long ago, and I did mention that was I was relatively, and I don't know if this is through being desensitized or if it was just the genes, bro, but I don't find many horror things scary, and I didn't find Alien or Terminator or Predator scary. I've told you this before. I just loved them. I was so in love with I kind of liked the Predator and the Terminator and the Alien more than most of the characters, I was just like, these things are so fucking cool. I want to see more of them, which I think overdrove any kind of fear that I was supposed to have for them. It's just kind of like a funny sort of thing. But, Silence of the Lambs, I think, was a bit scarier than those to me. And that makes a lot more sense in terms of it's much more like, it's like a serial killer as opposed to a fantasy monster. Which, to be fair, it can go both ways for a person. But I did mention my dad did not show me The Fly. I pursued that one myself when I was young because it was in the forbidden section. Well, it was in the forbidden section, but I still stumbled across it anyway, I think, on a blank tape. And that movie stuck in my head. The way I described how it scared me was by the time it was over, I couldn't look away, like even as a kid, even though I thought it was like terrifying. But when it was over, I thought about it for a while, and like it was very haunting in the sense of like, I fucking hope nothing like that ever happens to me, because that was horrible.
Well, yeah. Stay away from those teleportation pods, I guess.
Yep, no telepods for me.
I remember as a kid, like I would have been young at the time because this was quite an old movie, but I watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like I think it was like maybe late 70s, the one with Donald Sutherland.
Yeah.
And as a little kid, there was something just really uncanny about, when like they've been alerted to a human in their presence and they just kind of point at them and they let out this like horrifying shriek. It's not that scary now, but like as a little kid, I think there's just something really terrifying about something that looks human but then emits like that horrible sound and like clearly is not human.
Absolutely, yeah.
Way more than just a rubber-looking monster or creature effect or whatever. It's the almost human uncanny valley thing that got me. So yeah, I remember that movie freaked the shit out of me as a kid.
I feel like Body Snatchers has a huge potential for like a The Fly or The Thing remake where you do a modern version, incorporate a lot of modern things, but like not in our world, you know what I mean? But like it would have been, if we were in a good place for movies, that Body Snatchers modern version could have been really cool.
For sure, yeah. I mean, that would be the third version then, I guess, because the original was like back in the 50s. And then
I assume
in the 70s.
The idea of Body Snatchers would just keep going back forever, right? It's a pretty fundamental, like if the whole world is gradually replaced and you have to figure out who's real and who's not. Like that's a great archetype for any kind of story. And then you get lots of TV shows that sort of play with it. In one episode. Even Buffy has an episode like that. So does Star Trek have any episodes like that, Drinker?
Yes, it does. It's not played for horror so much as just like intrigue and stuff. Like they replace Captain Picard with like a clone or replica or something, and he starts making really odd decisions.
Well, I think Farscape kind of has one, right, where they're all getting sort of zombified or taken over. Yeah. It's not quite body snatchers. Do you remember one where it's like they're creating clones of the team? It's season 1, I think. They're like they're made of goo. I think you can.
They're always made of goo.
It's like they get their DNA taken and then clones are created of them. And man, I'm pretty sure that's season 1. It's when the ship is getting boiling hot as well, I think.
There's a whole subplot about that in season 3 where Crichton gets cloned.
Oh yeah.
There's 2 of them.
I mean, more so the whole crew is getting, it's close to body snatchers, but not quite, because I think they can only scream as well. They can't like speak.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's body snatchers is a really cool archetype for like a story, and certainly since that was the 70s, right? The Sunderland one, or was it the 80s?
I think late 70s. I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, we are more than in a position to tell that story again, but obviously we are not technically in the current state of Hollywood.
Yeah. Give it another 5 years until we're beyond this era.
Yeah.
Will Dreamer says, regarding the swallowing of chewing gum, the latest peer-reviewed research reveals a disturbing truth. Humans poop more often than once every 7 years. Well, it depends how focused you're willing to be, I suppose. But yeah, generally, so it's more regular. At least twice a year, I would say.
Or if it comes out like pellets, does that count as multiple poops in one session?
I don't know, because like if you're still like hunkered down and just doing it, I'd say it's all one poop. It's just divided into pellets, but it's one sesh. Eatman says your IP is greenlit, but Pedro is the lead. Pedro Pascal is the lead, so it's Reyes Diego instead of Ryan Drake. You can cast your key creatives and any actors, for example, Sydney Sweeney, with a trilogy. Would you? So you're asking me basically, for example, the Ryan Drake series gets greenlit into an IP, and I can choose all my supporting actors and directors and stuff, but I've got to have Pedro Pascal in the lead. Would I do it? Yes, but I would organize an accident for Pedro on the first day of shooting. No, oh no, we have to replace him. What can we do?
It would just be funny if you were like, okay, so Pedro, we're gonna be redubbing because it's just the lines weren't exactly what we're looking for. And he's like, okay, and he's like, and you know who had you wear that green screen unitard? He's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, we're gonna put someone else in for some scenes, and then we're gonna remove you in the other scenes. He's like, so how much of it am I in? You're like, yeah, no.
Just don't worry about it, Pedro. You'll get a paycheck. It'll be fine. Master of Puppets. Marvel missed out a golden opportunity to recast Kang. They had Kirk Lazarus to call upon. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. I might have actually watched that. I think we'd all watch that.
Pretty good, but oh well.
Bear Business. Happy anniversary to Dragon Age Veilguard. Tipples. Always with the tipples. Snapshot says, greetings, Bar. If you were to have a Mount Rushmore of Star Wars soundtracks, what would they be? For me, Imperial March, Binary Sunset, Duel of the Fates, and of course the opening title sequence. I mean, I think you've just fucking
you've kind of nailed it. There.
Yeah, it's like, what can we add to that? Really, perfect. Who Jigsaw? DCCCM, first initial of your names, is a combo I haven't seen in a minute. Legendary lineup, boys. Well, we aim to please, Imperial Brick. Predator Badlands is PG-13, as if it needed a final nail in the coffin. It's not a good sign, really, is it, if it's PG-13?
I thought we went through this before. When they did that to AVP, everyone was like, what the fuck? And then they were like, okay, Predators, we're back up again. You're like, oh, okay, fine. The Predator still, I think that was R-rated. I think this is the least of its problems was the age rating, I guess. But yeah, back down to PG-13, it's like, okay, dick.
Jeremy Soden saw Frankenstein on Tuesday. Didn't wow me on the night, but it has stuck with me. Want to see again? I think so, yeah. Mega Spidey Man. Do you prefer vampire or werewolf stories? Do you consider The Nightmare Before Christmas to be a Christmas film or a Halloween one?
Oh, I'm happy to say that it's both. I don't think there's a problem there. It celebrates Halloween and Christmas, so pick your poison if you want to watch it any time of year. I will typically more so associate with Halloween that it's time to watch it, as opposed to Christmas. But either. And then, what was the other question? Sorry.
So, vampire or werewolf stories? I think I'm going to go down the vampire road myself.
I'm more biased to vampire, but I have a feeling that's because there's not enough really great werewolf stuff, I think.
I feel like there's just more you can do with vampires as well. Like, they seem to be more flexible in terms of like their storytelling potential. Werewolves are kind of a blunt instrument.
A little bit, yeah. And I mean, the rules you can come up with for vampires, there's a huge selection. You can kind of pick and choose whatever you want. And when you pick and choose it, then it like alters what meaning you might want to have it, referred to for allegory, I guess. And man, a vampire's good for all kinds of allegory, right? Like the beast within, even though that's with werewolves as well. But then addiction, for drinking or drugs or whatever have you. And then you also got like the immortality angle or pride and all these other things. Like I've just seen so many vampire stories that every one of them you come up being like, oh, I think they were going for this. Werewolf, on the other hand, most of the time, it is like I don't know, the animalistic nature of man coming out.
Yes,
like sure, which is good. And I just think that maybe there's more. Maybe we'll change our minds after seeing Eggers take on the Wolfman.
We might just do that, yeah. Mr. Marwin says, ready for the completion of Ryan Johnson's trilogy? I've been ready for like 10 years. Bring it. Trickster King, what would you guys suggest for someone who has a bunch of ideas for stories but can't focus on one in particular? Well, I don't know. I guess you're going to have to settle on what appeals to you personally, because presumably out of all these stories that you've concocted, there's going to be one or two that like really stir your interest or your passion for storytelling, and you need to try and narrow those down because they can't all be equal in your head. Some will be better ideas than others, and I think it's just a case of being honest with yourself about which ones do I actually care about that I want to pursue, because it's going to be a bit of an endeavor to get that turned into either a book or a screenplay or whatever it might be. You got to really care about the thing you're writing about because you will have to spend a lot of time with it. Saint Cimmerian says, loved Del Toro's Frankenstein. Jack Pierce still created the best look of the monster on Boris Karloff. What's everyone's favorite Universal monster?
I guess Dracula.
He's pretty iconic, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
Jay Fraser, hail gents, saving the thumbnail for research purposes. You should do that. I mean, Google Images is your friend. There's plenty more. Lazarus says, Wolf Creek based on the backpack killer, Ivan Milat, or Millet. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but yeah, there you go. Poncho says, Pan's Labyrinth is a gem. Yeah, Pan's Labyrinth is a wild movie, but I do quite like it. Saint Cimmerian says, I recommend Del Toro's The Devil's Backbone. There's another one. Just Nick says, hello, Drinker and Panel. What do you guys think of the new Stranger Things Season 5 trailer? I'm pumped for it, Mauler.
I mean, it looks like a Stranger Things season. I hope it's good. It'd be nice if it was.
Spoken like Chris Stuckman himself. It's like,
what? Do you not agree?
It does. It does indeed look like a Stranger Things season.
There's nothing about it that I thought stood out. I was like, yeah, this is all the visuals I've come to see across. Everyone's already doing the meme of like, let me guess, she's going to scream really loudly and point her hand at something and it's going to explode. It's like, yeah, probably.
I mean, I'm ready for it to end. I just hope they do it justice. And yeah, it'd be nice for them to go out on a high with it. I don't know if they will, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll find out pretty soon. Greg B says, want a good low-budget horror? Check out Sawney Flesh of Man. Budget of £60,000 and made in Scotland. There you go.
Alrighty.
Another possibility there. Andrew Valdez, whatever Guillermo makes his own thing, it's awful unicorns is proof. Never give him a pen. So whenever Guillermo makes his own thing, it's awful. So unicorns is proof. Never give him a pen.
Okay.
So he's not a writer. Yeah. Jay Fraser says, have you seen Catherine Bigelow's Near Dark? It's a neo-Western horror and semi-aliens reunion with Henriksen, Paxton, and Goldstein as nomadic vampires. I think I have seen it. It's like way back in the early 90s, I think she made that one. I don't remember much about it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's one of her older ones. Catherine Bigelow is not a prolific director. I think she's only done about 7 or 8 movies in her entire career. It's pretty slow going. And I think since the last one, it had been about 8 years before she then did House of Dynamite. So yeah, she took a long hiatus, and she is like 70 odd now. Yeah, what's the next one? Rhonda the Lorekeeper says, question for you. Which video game would be remade into a gothic horror story? My examples are Final Fantasy, Xenoblade Chronicles, Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, and Expedition 33. Oh, Expedition 33 would be a good gothic horror story, actually. I mean, hypothetically, you could do it with anything, you know?
Yeah, are we saying think of gothic horror games, or are we thinking any game but with a gothic horror adaptation?
Yeah, which would lend itself quite well to a gothic horror remake.
Super Mario Sunshine, I think, would be the first one to go for. It's,
naturally.
Very gothic horror.
Wonder, it feels like there should be potential in something like Tomb Raider to go down a gothic horror route. You know, because ultimately you're raiding tombs with lots of dead things in them. It's like,
I'll tell you what,
there's lots of interesting things you could do with that.
Resident Evil 8, right, delving a bit further into gothic horror. I thought that was a really good choice for what it could have done. I wasn't that happy with what they ended up with, the story and characters and sort of the vibes, but I think a Resident Evil adaptation, if we can get it right in to begin with, but pushing it towards some kind of gothic horror could be fun.
Yeah, well, wasn't that the genesis of like the Devil May Cry games? That was like an aborted Resident Evil 4 attempt, and they were like, well, you know, there's potential there with this kind of stuff. It's like quite action heavy, but like with gothic horror elements. Let's just spin that off into its own game and then get back to doing something else for Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know my history with the DMC.
Lamin says, Rob Shooter says Depp is coming back for Pirates 6. We can but hope. Judge Judy and Executioner says, hello, panel. Choose any superpower you want, but you must also pick a downside. For example, flight, but only at head height and walking speed.
Well,
right. Superpowers.
But if we pick our own drawback, though, it kind of doesn't work, right? Like if I said,
well, yeah,
I got super strength, but I can only use it when the sun is up. It's just like it's arbitrary that's the drawback, I guess.
Well, I was imagining super strength there, but like your bones are like the same strength that they are at the moment. So like you punch a wall, and it's like, yeah, you could punch through it, but you'll shatter all the bones in your arm at the same time.
Damn.
I'm not sure beyond that. Or you know, you can do laser fucking beams from your eyes, but it actually has to burn its way out through your eyeball, and so you blind yourself doing it.
That's just a useless power then.
That would just suck. Yeah.
It's
a one-use sort of thing. It's only for emergencies. Robert Barassa, Hail Drinker and panel. Great old movies that can use some love. Johnny Dangerously with Michael Keaton. The Replacements with Keanu Reeves, and 80s horror cheese chud. There you go.
Fair.
OMG Puppies. Despot is right about Shakespeare. Consider all the film versions of The Tempest, Prospero's books, the film with Helen Mirren, and even Forbidden Planets. Yeah, we were talking about adaptations of like classic literature there. Hood Jigsaw. Mahler appreciation made me rewatch The Fly. Well, it's always good to rewatch it.
I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's Cronenberg's best.
Jay Fraser. Regarding the 2017 British anthology horror film Ghost Stories, Skeptic is tasked with solving 3 unexplained paranormal events with Paul Whitehouse, Alex Lothar, and Martin Freeman as the co-leads. Have you seen Ghost Stories? 2017? No. The Imperial Brick. Despot explains the Doctor Who plot 100 times better than the actual show. I'm not surprised by that in the slightest. Esoteric Nightmares. Can't they just cast Sydney Sweeney as Power Girl and make $1 billion and also make everyone happy? I mean, they could, but like they don't want us to be happy. Troop Captain. The Grim Reaper goes to a Halloween party dressed as Bilbo Baggins, but he forgot his sword, so his friend asks, Death, where is your sting? Okay.
Nice.
Edit Man, any of you guys checking out Shelby Oaks? Yes, we did. Nasty Chungus. Muller, thank you for giving me the push to play Soma. It's now my most favorite game of all time. Have you heard of the follow-up game Hotel Samsara?
No, is that like a spiritual successor? Because I have not. I'm assuming it's from the same writer. Is probably why it would be picked.
I'm guessing so, yeah. Yeah, Edit Man says, my bad, you guys are already covering it. Well, there you go. Keaton Kitsune, why do they call him the Bullet Dodger?
Oh.
Who are we referring to?
Boris? Yeah, I'm assuming
Boris the Blade.
Boris the Bullet Dodger.
Apparently, it's just impossible to kill the bastard.
I love that part where he's like, pull your socks up. Then he drops to the ground and then fucking Vinnie Jones just shoots all of them through the wall. So
yeah.
There's so many good moments to that movie.
Yeah. And it takes like a full magazine to kill Boris. Like every time
he just won't die.
Like, you missed. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Blue Blader Bot says, if Hero Brian isn't real, how did my dad die from a Hero Brian overdose? By the way, my username is pronounced Blue Blader what? Blue Blader Bot.
Okay.
Well, I mean, who knows if Hero Brian is truly real? Isn't he a character from something?
I don't recognize that.
This is a fucking internet meme for like Gen X or something. I don't know, Gen Z. Joey Bag of Donuts says AOT might be the closest to Game of Thrones to a smaller audience as far as politics, characters, and brutality. What do you think, Drinker? More divisive ending too. Yeah, I mean, don't want to spoil it, but yeah, I can see why not everyone was in love with the ending, given what happens to the main character and all. But you know, I think the whole point of it was trying to make a point about the cycle of violence, like generational guilt, revenge, all this, the kind of stuff that's been explored many times before. But there's no easy solutions to the kind of problems that show creates for itself. DJ says, Drinker, you SOB, why does Sweeney always work? Well,
who knows?
Everyone likes her. I can think of a couple of reasons. Jonathan Lampkin, it's your bro for life. Redo Howling 2 ending with Sydney Sweeney. Look it up, you'll know why. I know the ending for Howling 2. That had Sybil Danning in it, ripping her top off. And she said to the director, apparently, like, I'm only doing this once. And he's like, okay. And then his revenge, he put it on the credits on a loop. And it's like 10 times. You just see her ripping her top off and just going completely topless. So good on him.
Wow.
Nortrum, it's not a dog, but Doom video games are just a long revenge story. It starts with demons killing Doom guy's rabbit, Daisy, like John Wick's puppy. Sure, let's go with that.
I could believe Doom guy would like to take care of a rabbit. That's true. Sounds like him.
Idiotison, they sized up Kong to roughly Godzilla's size for King Kong versus Godzilla. Also gave him electricity siphoning powers, still better than the Monsterverse. I mean, there is a lot of retardation in those movies. What can I say?
Mm-hmm.
OMG puppies. David Lynch was a master of dark lighting. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf won Oscar for director of photography. The Sacrifice was Tarkovsky and Nyquist collaboration. Every frame a great photo. I think David Lynch good with his lighting.
He's definitely got like a lot of visual flair that's fantastic here and there. Did you ever see that? There's a clip from, I think it's the Fablemans, right? It's the Spielberg movie where David Lynch is in it's like some room and some kid is asking him about I think like he's becoming a director he wants to, and he says like never shoot anything. Like when you've got to shoot anything, you either go above or below, like put them above or below the middle of the frame. And he's like, why? And he's like, because it's more interesting. It's like just for that reason alone. I'm pretty sure Lynch was good at that sort of thing, where he would be like, there's got to be a better way to shoot this.
It's such a fascinating process. The framing of shots, the way you like lay out your actors and stuff, like just even where you want to put certain objects on screen, just to get them framed up just in the right way so the audience notices them at the right time. The amount of complexity to it is mind-boggling.
You know, you'd mentioned it as well, but a couple people have like the shots in Only Good Time regarding a glass of water. It seems like that has had some of an effect. It's like people remember it, and I was like, yeah, cool. That was in Inception, the hope, the design. So good stuff.
Yeah, I love that effect when. I know it's such a simple thing, but the fact that the camera can like focus in on one object on screen in particular and then shift the focus without moving the frame at all. It's just like the focal length is shifted on the lens. So you then see something further away or whatever. And yeah, and to watch it done nice and smoothly, it's like it's a real art form to get that right and not have it look clunky or awkward or whatever on screen. So I do appreciate it. It's the complexities of the art that you don't often think about, but when you actually see what goes into it, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into making this look easy. Nortrum says, makes me wonder how much control Henry Cavill will actually have over Warhammer. There's no way Amazon will go along with the canon lore. That's the fear, isn't it?
Is there any progress on that project?
I've not heard anything more about it.
I feel like it's getting scuttled because it just seems to have disappeared.
There's no buzz around it, really. Breathing in Fumes says, regarding Shelby Oaks, did no one else find the missing girl to bear a striking resemblance to Taylor Swift? It made the dog attack satisfying to me. I didn't think she looked like her, to be honest, but maybe that's just me. Gringo Mayo says, how did you guys forget Sicario when talking about great revenge movies? That's true, yeah. The payoff at that is
that's fair, yeah.
Great, yeah. Rafael Canal says, when Jason X was released in Brazil, everyone called it Jason Cop. I mean, sure, okay.
All right.
Logan Johnson says, all hail Sydney Sweeney and her great genes. I can get behind that. And her.
Hail.
And Cameron Falgout says, South Park's fall off needs to be studied. Yeah, I feel like the latest season is not getting well received. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I don't get the impression people are liking it that much.
The latest season of what? Sorry, I missed that.
South Park.
Oh, I mean, you know, it's they're doing storylines. They're hitting all they've even the latest episode they've got this thing where Stan and Kyle are talking about how much South Park the area sucks now, and that they hate it because it's getting too political, which is very amusing to me as someone who's watched it since like I can remember, because they'd never hold back on political points. They've been extremely aggressive to a lot of different administrations here and there. But simultaneously, you know, they have to know what they're going to court by doing, you know, the Trump jokes as much and as high frequency as they are. There's a lot more in the episodes, especially that I find funny, but they're hitting a lot of people in his administration as well. So I guess that's not going to help for anybody who's not interested to begin with.
Yeah. Well, that right there is the last of the super chats. We've reached the end of our little journey here for Last Orders. It's been emotional, Mauler.
It has. A roller coaster, you might even say.
And we want to say thank you to everyone who sent us these glorious super chats for us to talk about tonight. Appreciate all of you. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next open bar on Thursday night. So look out for us there. But for now, that's all we got for today. So go away now.
Bye-bye.